All right, we're live. Yeah. I'm excited to chat with Nicola, Colin. Welcome to the show. Swivel Council episode 3. How's everyone feeling?
Pleasure to be here, man.
Yeah, it's great to have you. This is exciting. Our first guest on our show. It feels legit. But yeah, this started from a little conversation that I had heard on the Endless Blading podcast, talking about raised heel versus flat base boots. And I posed that question to Nicola, and he said, let's chat about it live. So I figured we could start by kind of talking about, like, you have two fairly recent products that have come out, Nicola. One is a UFS flat base frame, and the other is a raised heel full complete skate.
What a contradiction, bro.
Well, it's cool because it serves everyone's needs, everything possible, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was curious, like, what skates do you use for which? Like, what are your kind of thoughts around it all? And yeah, just kind of thought I'd tee that up.
Yeah, man. No, it was interesting when you sent me that message, and that's why I asked you. Oh, why don't we have because we had a couple of calls and they were like quite nice the way, we touched some topics, and I felt like, maybe we can do this live and other people might find it interesting. So, but yeah, the reason why is because, I've also been changing my mind. I always keep changing my mind, but I've changed my mind quite a bit since the couple of years ago, where I was using mainly UFS boots, and I think I've been on the Seba, the CJ.
Yeah,
I've been on that for quite a few years, and I had gotten used to. And I think after that, I went on the Seba 5. But the thing is, at the same time, I always had like a 165 boot back then. I like the Micro Delta F, the carbon.
Yeah.
I used that, and it was fun, But I remember thinking, I was using it with 125s mainly, 3 125s, and I remember thinking, when it comes to like doing jumps and stuff like that, it was mainly the carbon boot felt a bit like the Micro Delta F, at least. It felt a bit stiff and not very pleasant. Where the other one maybe being flat, or the liner as well, not integrated, like the removable liner made it a bit more puffed, or so the shocks were not that bad.
More absorption when you land.
Yeah, a bit more absorption around. So
that
was my
carbon Seba or plastic Seba? Just
carbon.
Okay,
yeah,
so it is kind of apples to apples comparison ish.
Yeah. I guess it's gotta be like some way. I don't know. Back then I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's flat and it's got the removable liner. It gives it's better for it feels better. And then and also I gotta say that the Micro was using it without the shock absorber, so maybe that's something.
I was about to ask if you had the shock absorber with the liner that you used in the Seba boot. You always had the shock absorber.
Yeah.
But the Micro has no room for that, right?
Whenever I have a removable liner, I'll just stick a shock absorber because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, why not?
Might as well. I know a couple people who use those liners or those boots, and they size down really, really tight, right? So they remove the shock absorber. That's why I was asking. So I was thinking maybe there'd be a case in there,
But then the shock absorber would raise you, and if it raises you, your toes come back, so it still helps.
Yeah,
for
sure.
downside. I always felt the opposite. Like if I remove it,
no, I agree.
Yeah, it flattens out a little bit. Yeah, but the Intuition absorber is super soft, right? Like it's easy for me at least to push through it, and it flattens out anyway. So I've been using like a harder heel rise, like a rubber one instead of a foam one, just to have a more consistent heel rise.
Yeah.
but still the rest of the boot is flat. So it's like
like the ACT, no?
basically same idea. Yeah, to just have a
Razor.
there's one that comes with the CJ that's like rubber, but in any case,
Rubber one, the ACT.
so you had some amount of heel
Basically,
rise in the
Also,
Seba.
my style was
but yeah.
different. My style of skating was different a few years ago because I wasn't doing that much footwork. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the ACT, no?
Yeah, ACT.
Yeah. I wasn't doing that much footwork the way I'm doing it now, or the dance. I wanted to, and I was trying, but I was used to having the advance and the 5 wheels and the 4 110s and all those crazy setups. So
You need a lot of space for that kind of setup. Like we just take up more space, especially 110.
So my style of skating was different, and then I remember thinking, oh, I need to go back to basics. I gotta get 480s, and I think I got on the Seba UFR, and I got that on, and then I got also on the FR1. Got on the FR1
Stock
with the
setup.
480s.
Yeah.
And I remember loving it, and I was like, yeah, this is amazing. And then I got on the Seba UFR, which pretty much felt the same because even though it's UFS, still got the heel raise. So there was not really much difference then. And I think that's when my style of skating started changing and started going more towards like footwork. And I was like, oh, I really enjoy having this ability to just move possibility with these skates to just move my feet and they feel light. And I think this kept going until I started with power slide. And I was still like used to wanting a UFS boot. So that's when I started with the Icon, the AG15, both. I try skate the 10 and the 15, and so that's when I started like thinking about this comparison between because on one side I was skating the Hardcore Evo, the Next, and then on the other side we were designing the Kaiser Edge. I was skating the AG15, and I was like, doing the test, and it's like a part of me really enjoys the UFS, but one thing that went for sure is like, okay, I think one day I went out and I forgot to put the shock absorber because I changed the liners.
Yeah.
And so the Kaiser Edge is flat.
Oh, there's no tilt?
No tilt, it's flat. And so by that being flat and me forgetting to put the shock absorber, I was like, no.
like falling backwards, right?
Yeah, and I remember skating like this back when I started because I had a ground control and then the Seba CJ. Like that was like the first setup, like
the 90 mil frame.
80.
Oh, okay.
480,
ground control.
That was like 8 years or 9 years ago. And but I remember skating it like without the shock absorber back then for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know, back then I didn't have much to compare, but this time I was like, no, I need I want
at least something.
And just to get to the bottom of this, I can say that when I have a heel raise on, for example, the AG15, it feels alright, it's not a big of a deal. I think it goes down to me personally, to what I enjoy is to the bulkiness of the skate. So the reason why I went for my pro skate with the Zoom or which can be transformed this way, because it's nice and skinny.
Slim,
follow the shapes of the foot. Is not bulky, and I think that for me is one of the most important things when it comes to footwork, feeling a bit more that dancey vibe. And you know, I skated the AG15 quite a bit with the Kaiser Edge, and I can do it anyway. You know, it's not like, oh, if you don't have this boot, you don't. It feels alright. It feels nice, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say that having like a bit more of a skinny boot, something like maybe have a built-in heel raise, something that, you know, kind of like puts you a bit more naturally on the toes, and it doesn't feel so bulky when when moving your feet around. I think that makes the dance, like dance style or footwork, I don't know how you want to call it, a bit more enjoyable. And I don't know, with the zooms, where even jumps, everything feels good, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to ask about. Like, obviously, I agree that having a raised heel and having the weight on the ball of your foot allows for just more agile movement, especially at a low speed.
Yeah.
And then it makes me wonder, because, you know, on UFS boots, like for example, the video you put out with the NT frame is like slides and more transition or like embankments and stuff. Do you feel like I know there's a crossover, right? Like they're not mutually exclusive use cases. Like these two, this one is only for this and this one is only for that. Do you feel just as comfortable doing like slides on banks on your Zoom? Yeah, it doesn't like feel like you're gonna loop out or anything. Yeah.
The reason of the video being like that, it was more because I filmed it with Mark Moreno.
Oh, it's like
and he's an aggressive skater. And for me, doing those tricks with him felt like a better way to connect together. And like for him as well, it was a bit easier to kind of like understand what I am doing, because he doesn't know much about the big world.
Right.
So for him to film it, I kind of like had to go towards him and make something that, you know, he because I definitely, part of me wanted and still wants to, you know, find a filmer where I can just go footwork, moves of like weird stuff and get creative in that, like with not necessarily with I don't know, like more aggressive
style,
or like a linear or like a obstacle based, you know, like a one and done or a whatever. But like a longer flowing combo is hard to predict the skaters movement and follow them. And
we tried. We did film a couple of sessions. We did film some stuff like that. It didn't end up going in the video because in the end the video ended up being a bit more in that style, and I was like, it's still something that I enjoy, but it was mainly for that reason. For me, I really love the Zoom skates. They feel amazing. Like every day I skate them, I'm like, wow, I'm so happy on these boots. And I don't know, maybe it's because of my pro model, I don't know. And it was a bit of a bet because I haven't really skated them much before I picked them as my pro model, so it was almost a bit of a bet.
That was I was going to ask, actually. I was curious like how much experience you had with the Zoom model before kind of going into that venture. I was curious.
Man, before when I skated them before, I had pain. It was like years ago, but I had pain with many skates. You know, I had pain with Arco Rigo. I had pain with the Next. I had pain. I was the problem. It wasn't really skating.
Well, I mean, if all of us are always having some amount of pain, then what's going on here? Like,
but then
people think we do.
Then you know, like after years going back into the skates, and I'm super fine. But you know, it was a bit of a bet. I don't know, something in my head said like, "Oh, go with the Zoom because you can put the plate, use it as well UFS." So I can put the edge frames, and even just the silhouette looks great. And I don't know, because at the beginning I was going for the Next, and then I was like, no, I have to change. I have to make it. I need to be able to skate the edge frame, even though it's not gonna be it's gonna be stock because I couldn't make a sway. So that's under USD. So I was like, because otherwise, I would have loved to have the edge on it, but yeah, we're working on making them compatible somehow, or like me being able to skate the edge at the same time as skating a power slide boot, but we're not there yet. So for the moment, I need to. But I'll show you. This is the one I built.
I'm curious. It's like a perfect aggressive skating frame, like aggressive skate big wheel frame, because it's flat base, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, that's like. Oh, is that actually a sway though?
Tobacco went in my eye.
Oh, dude, so sorry.
So good. So long, I didn't see it.
I was skating today, and my necklace got in my eye today. I was like,
see, that's why you got to have your safety goggles on all the time, guys. Come on.
Damn. That's that, and then
is that the 84 or 90? It looked pretty big.
That's the 90, and then the 5-wheel. The frame is coming up soon. The aftermarket one. And yeah, man, like that was the idea, But then in the end, I'm super happy with the Trinity frame too. For what 480s with the Trinity frame, it's because I started with the 490 skating the NT1s, and I was like, all right, back on the 90s. Okay, I'm liking them. Maybe 90, and then I went back on the 80s. Yeah, flat, and then flat. They are only flat for a few hours.
Yeah.
But
the 80 is that? Does some of the sizes come with a 90 though on the NT?
Yeah.
Like the bigger, like my size would be. Yeah.
Yeah, like from 43 up, they go 90 and below with 80, and I can skate 2 shells. I can skate the first shell of the 90, and I can skate the smaller with the 80. But on the smaller, I need to put a bigger liner.
Right.
So because it'll fill out the.
Yeah, it fills it perfectly.
I just skated a Trinity frame for the first time when I got these ACTs at the Big Apple World in New York event at the silent auction, which was super cool. And they came stock with the 4x90 Trinity frame.
Yeah.
And I had skated. I go back and forth between UFS and 165 all the time, and I'd never skated a Trinity frame before. And I tried them out stock first, and it was felt great. Something I've just not a whole lot of experience in, but they're awesome.
Yeah, it might be subtle, but I think the Trinity is really a great piece of equipment. It's got that. It does give you that lateral support, and I don't know. I really enjoy it. The only downside of it is the fact that if you want to do some stalls, you've got the screw, or if you want to try to grind or something, you've got the screw there, which it's a bit the only downside. But if you're not bothered about that, they feel great. They feel great to me.
I feel the difference 165 to Trinity. I feel the difference for sure. Like, a height is one aspect on a 165. There's just a max height. There's not a lot of frames that stick up above the mount. Yeah. Like there's a few, but then I have the Trinity. I only have one Trinity set up right now, and it's the dupes. But if those didn't have Trinity, I feel like it'd be rough. They made a 165 dupe, which is like the Shadow. For those who don't know it, but it's like a USD Shadow skate with a different base plate. And the original ones, I actually just saw this online friend of mine was sending me a picture of a clear base plate and clear frame dupe. And I thought, like, I would break that thing, like guaranteed, and it's this 165 clear plastic, like base plate, and I've never seen it, but I'm happy I've got the Trinity one, because I feel like it's like a saving grace. There's not a lot of other support on the skate, so to have like a solid base matters. But yeah, 165 definitely has its niche as well, right? Like, I mean, it's just so popular.
But it's classic. It's proven, and it does the job. There's not much to, but yeah, like I definitely think that if I wasn't bothered to I don't know, do any type of aggressive or stalls and stuff like that, Trinity would be such a better choice, because just the lateral 2 points on the front, I don't know, it's even in my boot, even though it's got the adapter, it's not like it's straight into, like, I've got it here, even though it's got the screw, it's like a plate. And at the beginning I was a bit skeptical, because it might, you might think like, oh,
does it pull?
Yeah,
like form a gap if you tilt it too much or whatever. But
it's just super solid, and all the talks about the energy transfer. You need the metal plate. It just feels great. It feels Trinity. It feels solid. There's no really any. You don't really feel any, I don't know, bending or any sort of gap.
Okay, I got a question for you about the Zoom, the boot shape, because one of the things I noticed, like, there's the raised heel, and if you only think of it in that way, it can kind of be equivalent when you have a heel pad and a flat boot to a raised heel. But the thing I notice on my K2 boots is that the actual whole shape of the footbed is ergonomic, anatomical, let's say. Instead of having a flat board with a little raised heel, it's actually like it slopes down and it ramps up at the toe. And does the Zoom have a little bit of like up sweep and like kind of cradle the ball of your foot? Yeah, because that's kind of what I saw. It's got a little bit of up. And that makes such a difference, right? Like I feel like I have like a little gas pedal, and I can like have more leverage on the wheels. And
I really enjoy it, man. I remember in Berlin, I was speaking to Ivo from This Is Soul, and he was saying he didn't like. I think it was him. I apologize if it wasn't him, but somebody. I think it was him. He was saying like, I don't like it because it's got what you were just describing.
Oh, that little bit of up.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it. I hadn't even noticed it. If he didn't tell me, and now that when he made me notice, I was like, oh, all right. And then skating it, I'm like, this feels amazing. I don't really feel that much of a difference, to be honest. But like I cannot skate, and it's not that when I skate, I'm like, oh, I can feel there is ramping up in the front, and but it does feel amazing, and that's gotta be one of the reasons,
I wonder, because
it's good that
FR does that too. I think it has a little bit of shape, and think about our UFS frames like being on a slope. Sorry, Colin. I just want to put this out there. Like if we're on a tilted frame on a flat surface, you're always going to be toe jamming, right? Like you're sliding into the front of the skate at all times versus
subtle plug there.
Feeling like
if you build a shoe, if you build like, I don't know, a sport shoe, you're gonna make it a bit ramped up in the front,
a little bit of shape. So anyway, that was just one of my thoughts about that.
A weird thing that I noticed recently while researching a bit, I was looking at the FR, the free ride,
the new one, right?
The Intuition one.
Intuition, but the integrated Intuition.
I think it's called the
that
SL.
dips down.
It's down, right?
Dips down like
crazy, like it's got like a little like like little nose.
And I when I noticed that, I was like, wow, that's very interesting decision. Like I don't understand it.
Do you have a way to share your screen there? I don't know.
Try.
That might be too fancy for us, but But yeah, I know what you mean. It means there's like less room for that front wheel too. Like it kind of gets, I could see it being like, oh, it's right on the front wheel. You know, it's like maybe from slalom you kind of want.
Yeah, but that's
to
a
just be like,
ride boot.
Sure. Yeah. It would assume that they were like redesigning it for each use case. I've got I can do this here.
I don't know if you put
You see it up there?
put a side one if you have a side picture.
Oh, I don't.
You can kind of see it from there. It just
Yeah.
kind of like tapers down.
Yeah.
I do wonder, yeah, since you're sharing too, once you show like a side view, the FR Neo, does it have any like upsweep, or is it? Because I know the Neo is like low.
I don't think the others have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no side pictures.
Sorry.
That's all good. So yeah, there's like a aspect to this that with a UFS boot, I mean, you can use an insole and you can have it be shaped a certain way, but there is something nice about the shell having like an intentional shape instead of just defaulting to a flat base. It is kind of a weird thing. Like, what other sport are you in? Like, you're strapping yourself down to a completely flat surface.
Yeah.
Like, skiing for sure has shapes and all this stuff, you know.
Yeah, man.
There's the Neo, yeah, and it's kind of got a little. I mean, maybe there's some internal ramp, but it looks like it's pointed down pretty far.
Yeah.
That thing's low.
How about the FR Igor then? Because that was like that's an old one.
Igor?
Just curious if they changed the way they. Yeah, see, this is not as. Or well, it still is to some
What you
extent.
mean? It's a little less.
I don't know.
A little more flat. It does
Right?
seems like it almost goes a little up. Versus the SL Speed or the SL which
It goes down.
Free ride, yeah. Yeah, it goes down. Yeah, I always wondered about that because that boot is very appealing because it's kind of seems like it might be.
I wonder if the Raptors do that. Let me look. I feel like probably not. Hold on.
Yeah. I'm gonna take off the screen share.
It's
There's
something I never really thought about, but when I do think about, and like now that I've been spending time with different boots,
Yeah, not really.
it kind of just flattens out. Maybe it's got a little ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got comment here saying the FR Neo does kick up a little bit inside the shell, but yeah, there's a little bit of shaping.
It's cool that people can comment like that.
Yeah, we've got a few here. There's somebody said that in skiing they use the footbed, so I'm assuming that's just like the insole and footbed, and in skiing the effective ramp up from 10 degree to 2 degree toe low. So I guess maybe that assumes there's a bit of a ramp at the front. It makes sense you like balance. If you want to balance, you would stand up against like a thing, something, you know.
But yeah, man,
but yeah,
to get at the end of this, I think that I definitely have started to like a lot more raised heel boots. But I believe that if you have a UFS boot that has a shock absorber or something that can put you up, it will still do the job. And then the only difference then it comes down to, for me personally, to how bulky this part is, you know, because I like this because here it goes nice and towards the inside.
Yeah.
Where other boots, you know, they're really
Smooth.
bulky, straight, and I think that's a feature that when it comes to the style that I like of skate, I like something a bit slimmer and allows my foot to be agile.
I've got these two little things. This is the one that comes with the Seba CJ, and it's like rubber. And I think this one's kind of interesting because it's not just localized to the heel. It's kind of like a slower ramp. And then I got a few different shapes and thicknesses of these foam ones that are nice and like firm. It's kind of hard to like squeeze them. So I've just been playing around with these, and you know, as soon as you stack too many, it feels terrible. But like, because I'll stack up like a few different things and see how it feels. But there's a sweet spot, and I think the frame tilt and the heel tilt and everything, we're basically simulating a raised heel boot in most cases. Like, so
because then on the Zoom I have a built-in raised heel, but I still use the shock absorber, so I probably have I don't know,
even more. Yeah.
That's funny. When I started with the ACT, when I was first like trying them out, I didn't realize that the rubber footbed was part of that because I hadn't taken the liner out, right? And I tried.
Had you taken it out already? Sorry,
I hadn't. I didn't realize it was there, and so I put the super feeds in them, right? Which already has a little bit of an arch. And I put them on. I think I had an advanced style frame on them at the time, and I was like, "Wow, why do I feel like so up here right now?" And I was like, "What is going on here?" And when I took the liner out, I looked. I was like, "Oh, that makes sense. If these are in here, it makes sense." Like I'm like instead of like this, I'm like this going into it. And I was like, "What is going on here?" But
yeah,
that was it. But
you're always in a toe press.
Yeah, honestly, is what it felt like.
Okay, so I'm curious, like, you know, Nicola, it makes sense. You're describing kind of historically, you were on the, you know, the PRs and on a UFS setup, and then that kind of naturally led into the NT1, or not the NT1, the edge frame.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like, you know, acknowledging like your history on that kind of style of skate. But then you mentioned switching to kind of, or integrating more like dance movement and more footwork and stuff. Like, did that come from any sort of external media source or something, or was it just sort of something you tapped into that you've been like missing for a long time or something like that? Like how did that shift kind of happen?
You know, I was always there. It was always there. It's just my ability to execute it got better, and I started to be able to express it. But like I remember when I was in London and I was in Hyde Park, and you know, like the few people who were hanging out there were mainly practicing slalom. And so, you know, every now and then I would get on some slalom moves and try to learn, and then I would just a few minutes, and then I was on the side doing slides and maybe more reserve stuff. And but I remember putting the music and wanting to dance, and I remember my feet, they would go whoa, 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 and then something would just get jammed, and I wouldn't be able to flow.
Yeah.
And I think, just by practicing a lot of basics, I started to being able to flow between those basic moves and started to be able to then jam a little bit, like actually dance.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's like you can't dance if you're thinking about what's on your feet. You know, like that's too much processing time to be like, what's happening down there? Okay, avoid clipping. Like it has to be completely.
Yeah, you need a couple of basics.
In the moment, you know, like or whatever, like intuitive.
I think for me, understand like being able to do the what they call the crazy.
Mm-hmm. All in one place.
Or the grapevine. No, not necessarily in one place, but just being able to have like a step that allows me to move through the space. Mm-hmm. And doesn't matter how I end up with my feet, I can always pick that move, and I can keep flowing. So maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I will end up with my feet like that, and from there I can start moving. So I think a lot is the V and the A.
Yeah.
So, you know, just
open on the heels and up on the toes, kind of.
Yeah. So like the more you get comfortable in moving those two steps, the more then you're able to express a bit more of a dance flow. I think at least that's what happened to me, you know. And then once I started, I was like, and I'm on the journey now. I'm like always trying to learn a couple of things more to have fun.
To be able to improvise and have a lot of things you can pull at any point. I feel like with a 5-wheel frame, there's a pretty established set of moves that you are working with, and if you go outside of that, you really have to kind of think about it, or it just takes a little more processing time for me to dance and have this. What's that?
What would the established set of moves be?
Just moves that take up a bigger space, like the 3 turns and lions, as opposed to like slalom moves that are more like a crazy leg or a. I think of almost how much space it takes up. When we're dancing, we're kind of doing it in a smaller space, where more moves in a tighter area.
Yeah.
Like imagine on 4-1-10, like actually jam skating at a rink. Like, well, rink is a bad one because you actually are covering ground, but on a dance pad, like, small piece of pavement, you would be stepping. It would be a different kind of feeling.
To me, it goes down to how far your toes and heels go from your actual toes and heels. So like the projection of the wheel from your heel and toes, and that for me was the best part of going back to a short frame was like, oh, okay, now this is my foot. When you have such a long frame, it's kind of a projection, and that projection comes with limits. So like you think you're going on your heel, but it doesn't feel like that because now you got your leg.
It's way out there,
Because now your heel is way farther behind you than normally.
Yeah. I've been working on a grabbed heel press, just because with the long frames, your feet are further forward. So I'm like, well, I should just reach down and grab them, but it's like
use that new frame
locked in. What's that?
That frame that I sent you. Who posted that? Was the Lava Skates frame with the 6?
Oh yeah, the 7x60.
Yeah.
There you go. You have some nice tips to grab.
I enjoy a long frame, and like when I put these on, it feels fun, but it feels also a bit different from what for me feels like classic skating. I don't know, I like to think about classic skating about, I don't know, go speed and make tight movements with your feet and being able to dance, for example, or being able to use your feet in a more natural way, maybe just a way that's more close to your actual foot. When it comes to this, it's still fun, but this to me resembles more the motions of a ski, of you balancing on a longer base, and I think it's fun, but it's different. It wouldn't be like I love the fact of for me when I go out and I don't really like, first I'm gonna have to commute to the spot, which is 6-7 kilometers, and then the way back. And so I like to be able to enjoy and maybe have a certain agility on the way, and then I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe in the session, maybe I can just put a speaker and enjoy a very tight spot. The spot is massive. But maybe I know that even if I'm gonna be on the spot, I'm doing a couple of like toes, and I can spin. I can practice. Like for example, slalom has got infinite amount of moves that for me are untapped, and I'm like, I want to learn all that stuff because it seems very fun to be able to move your feet like that.
It's like the opposite of skiing, where everything has to be super premeditated and something that you're thinking about what you're going to do, and then you rehearse it and practice it, and then in like the improv slalom situation, it seems like it's popping off right now. Like I'm seeing more and more videos of not necessarily super technical rehearsed slalom skating, right? It's more just like a free dance with cones kind of like jam session. And like there was one video from it was like 1K66 I think, and it went like I just looked at it, 3 million views. Like
wow,
it just over a 500,000.
China,
like,
no?
I think so, yeah. And he's got a cool style and like to his clothing, and
I think I know what you're talking
and
about.
he's just doing a really cool, jammy kind of movement. You know, I do see sometimes in slalom things can kind of get always back to the grapevine. You know, it feels like if you're improvising, you're only going to do what you're going to come back to the things that are most like intrinsic or like intuitive for you. So, but I will say it's very compelling to watch because you're seeing somebody like they're not rehearsing. Nothing is, you know, premeditated, but there's no slop to it, right? It all looks clean to me.
Yeah,
least, so.
I don't know if you ever seen Wuka.
Oh yeah.
He goes by Wuka 66 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite skaters to watch. Super inspiring, and yeah, man, when I see him skating like that with his feet, he goes, and then you know when you see the way he can adapt to all types of style of music, you know, he's got some videos where he switches from more classical, and then he switches to some, I don't know, maybe hip hop, and then it goes to like all types of music. And you can see his flow adapting to it, and even though maybe his footwork it's fairly similar through the whole thing, but the flow adapts to the music, and I think that's beautiful for me. Is one of the best things that I like to watch and to see, just the ability to adapt and to flow to those switches, and it makes me want to just learn at least a little bit of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you already do some of it. Like when you you posted a few videos recently, kind of like moving sideways and just jam skating through like a space. Do you have music on? Is there a type of music you prefer to, or do you change it up, like your preferred style?
Do song.
It depends. Like it depends. Sometimes it depends on the occasion. Like for example, one of the last videos I put, I knew I wanted to post that song, and so I kept replaying the same song until we got the shot.
Just on repeat.
Just on repeat, and the same part. So I was like, oh no, it wasn't like I wanted. So go back at the beginning, replay, rewind the song, and restart. But most of the times I will just have just whatever comes out of my playlist, and then either use, if I remember, maybe use that song, or find the song with the same tempo and use it. But yeah, definitely. Since I gotta say that since I changed a bit more my style towards this, also the music that I listen to changed. So before I was listening to a lot of like hip hop, where now I listen to a lot more I don't know, funk. I still listen to hip hop, but the thing is gone, like rather than the actual song, maybe I look for the song that was sampled.
The sample, the instrumental,
so,
or from like the 70s or 60s, like soul or funk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, like having like a brass section and like the horns and everything. There's a groove to the song that's a little different than when it's a sample that's repeated every 8 beats or whatever.
Yeah, and
that's interesting.
I love it, and it's strictly for that style of kind of like grooving and getting into this bit more like dancey flow, let's call it. If I have to do something where that I want the flow to be a bit more I'll use the word aggressive, maybe, even though it's the actual style of skating. So confusing,
it's just an adjective. Come on.
Now I want to say aggressive.
Grind skating.
Like now it is a style, and it is.
What then? Like if you gotta like do like the 540 off the thing or whatever.
Yeah,
like
then like imagine like I think one person who really characterizes this style is Luis De Paulo, where he's got that intense very
Lewis is the best man.
like,
Yeah, he's so powerful. Yeah.
yeah, very powerful. Then I would need to switch to another type of.
Like a dubstep almost, or like a drum and bass.
Hardcore metal. Yeah.
For me, it stays hip hop, but maybe I don't know.
Okay.
More of a
Gangster rap.
yeah, something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to like remember what music you were listening to, so you can edit to something similar, because it just matches up so good. Like
my buddy Mike is always listening to the music that he's gonna put into his videos all the time. It's very fun.
Dude, I feel like I never know what I'm gonna want to put the music of. Like that's always like I've got it all edited, and I'm like sitting there for an hour, like what song?
Yeah,
that thing feels right. So anyway,
it's funny though, because sometimes like I remember definitely a few times. For example, one was probably my most viewed video where I do a couple of dance steps and some slides in Hyde Park a couple of years ago. And I remember listening to some hip hop. I don't know what exactly, but it was some hip hop. And I ended up putting, I don't know, some fucking dance, so like Saturday Night Fever type of tune on, and it fitted perfectly. And I was like, oh, let's just try this. And it worked perfectly. I was like, there
to
you
the
go.
beat. Yeah.
It's really not the music that I was listening to, but the video worked perfectly. Even my, it's also maybe because the way that I interpret hip hop with my body is much different to what the song sounds like. I listen to some fucking, I don't know, Mobb Deep, but
you're grooving.
Just,
heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, instead of just like a super like
yeah.
Well, it reminds me of your the Power Slide Next 30th anniversary with the chrome skate, or like the sort of smoke chrome 3x125. It's just, I think you even put a headphone
that was
in.
the actual song.
And you could just see like, because it's like a funky kind of soul song or something like that, and that one. That's such a good video. Yeah, because it shows like that dancing movement, but in such a different environment, like through the streets and everything, and like
it.
For me,
how
that's
I end
like,
up skating now. Like, I really try. Well, it's not even I try, but it becomes more, definitely more normal for me when I move through the streets. If I have the music, I'll just start dancing to it. It won't be such an intense, but rather than skating like this, I'll just maybe put a double stride on one side and a double on the other side to match the music, and then I'll go one, maybe two, and then I'll cross
and a little fakey shuffle. Yeah, exactly.
I arrived home and made a whole different way of, and it's fun, and I don't know, to bring it back to that equipment thing. I think you can do it on any type of boot, like even if you got like 4x110, you can still do it. But I think there's a freedom to have a short frame that resembles the dimension of your feet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I was also trying to do with the Kaiser Edge. I wanted to kind of like, okay, let's try to bring it back to a neutral spot. This is your foot, and that's why we made 3 sizes, 80, 84, and 90.
Yeah.
It wasn't much for, skating. I could skate the 90, I could skate the whatever. It was more for like, how long is your foot? Smaller sizes, use the 80, and and so on, so that you have just a simple frame, almost like a barefoot shoe. Like just the most minimalistic.
Mm-hmm. It disappears underneath you, just
simple. You don't have you cannot choose, this rocker is better, this is more, because it does have no rocker until you develop yours. you know. So it leaves no space for judgment, to say like, oh, I like this frame because it's got this rocker, and I like the others because it's got a different one. Where this is like, it's flat, go skate it and make your own rocker. And the only reason why I would choose it, during the thought process, I was like, I want people to choose this frame because it's simple, but because it's got a cool design. When you look at the design, it's something that, it's clean, it's got some nice lines, it looks cool, and that's all you need, to go out and have fun.
Yeah,
that was a bit the idea.
it reminds me of, I mean, from like an ergonomics perspective, like obviously wheel size can be a personal choice, but it can be also like a anatomical choice.
Yeah.
And how you've got, like with Wizard, they've got the PR76, the 80, and they came out with the 84.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, well, what's that? Like, what kind of tricks is that for? And it's like, no, it's the same type of tricks. It's for a different person's body.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're taller, they have a bigger foot, and I hope soon they will release the 95 and 105 wheels, which is crazy to split the difference like that. But it's not crazy because we have that through all the smaller sizes, and then it just, you get these huge jumps from 90 to 100. I feel like that's such a big change when I ride a 4x90 versus a 4x100. It's like I have to really be conscious of the 4x100, and it's, I get the speed aspect, but getting on a 4x90, I feel like I almost have as much speed because I have more foot speed. Like I have less rolling speed, but I have more. My feet can move faster, and I can basically dance through space, like you're talking about. In a way that's more. There's less mental overhead when I'm skating through the streets dancing on a big setup. I can't 100% forget about my skates. I have to always have it a little bit of presence of mind, and there's something very freeing about like what you described, which is what we do with our group skates, is just dance through the streets. Like that's it's a pretty magical thing.
Do you go on group skates yourself, Nicola? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Do you skate with that big group very often, or is it more you feel like you're sessioning spots?
I go to spots where like my go-to spots are the W Hotel, and there's a plaza in front of a skate shop called Roex, and there's another spot called Garcia Faria, which is a flatland where you see a lot of like the guys who practice Wizard taking videos.
Cool.
I definitely hang out at spots where they are the go-to for skaters. And sometimes I do go to the Friday night skate, but not that much, to be fair. Like I like to skate back more in the morning or the afternoon, and I picked up a routine where I tried not to hang out, and that starts at 10 until midnight. So every now and then
no way. That's our group skate starts at 7, and it's like in the night, but starting at 10 is wild.
Ours starts at 7:30, and I thought that was kind of late. I was like, geez.
Yeah, that's 10 to, like, Spain has got a different clock. So they like they wake up late, they have dinner late, everything's like late.
Sounds awesome.
That sounds like what I do. Yeah. I think I have a question here from, you wear both earbuds skating through traffic or one ear only? The other one is like, if you're skating with other people, do you wear headphones? I don't when I'm with other people, because
unless somebody has got some there's some people sometimes they carry their speakers. They've got the most terrible music. It happened a few times that I was like, fuck, So now it was terrible, it was like really, I wasn't really feeling the vibe.
I have done that too.
But no, but, I mean, apart of that occasion, because then most of the times of those Friday night skate, you end up like chatting to people, and it's much more of a social thing rather than the actual ride. So
Sure.
so no, but in traffic, I often do wear both.
Yeah.
I don't have any noise cancellation, so I
Same.
think
just the normal, like not the ones that like seal
no.
up. Yeah. Have you tried any of those ones that sit like in front of your ear that like just thump on your? I see people with those all the time, and they can wear them all, like they can be having a conversation with you and they still like experiencing music, like, but it's not in their ears, it's like on their head.
Must be still confusing though, because you got two things.
Yeah. Too much.
Yeah, the noise canceling, I lose my sense of balance. Honestly, I tried those and I was like, well, I have no feedback from the world. Like, but I will say even with regular music, like skating, it's sometimes a little disorienting. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like especially at the very beginning of the session, it's like too overwhelming to have like music and skating. I'm like not warmed up yet. I don't know. This is something I've experienced.
No, I understand. I tell you something funny is that I'm so used to having the headphones when I skate that now, for example, well, not even just now, but sometimes, I now bought a speaker that I carry around. It's got like a fairly good output. And sometimes I've got the speaker there or somebody else's, there's some music going on at the spot and I'm skating and then somebody comes to me and wants to chat and I go, but I don't have it. I'm like, oh shit.
It's in your hand. It's like, oh shit.
So many times, or then I'm like, oh, I want to go skate, and I tap my ear.
Next song, yeah, let's go.
That's so funny.
No.
That's so funny. I love that.
Yeah, so definitely use them.
I have a question about the video for the Zoom. I just wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit about the creative process with that video, because I really appreciate when there's like some storytelling aspects in like videos like that or promotional videos just in general. Big like fan of that. It was great, but like great stuff like that. So I'm just kind of curious, of course, like what your process was when like kind of coming up with that idea and then implementing it. Like what was the conversations like that? Like kind of going into that.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you liked it. It was first not having a clear idea from the beginning, and I was like, I don't know. I knew something would have come, but the time was kind of like also logistically certain things happened, and I thought I had more time.
Right.
And then suddenly I didn't have much. And I think I definitely knew that I wanted to do something special. But I would have thought that for me, special would have meant, I don't know, go outside and do do your best at skating, do your best moves or try to find something that, will be impactful.
Yeah.
Which I would say this is the new part of me, which is not the original, because I haven't skated all my life. I only started, 10 years ago. And I think the fact of making it like that, it's a bit more authentic to me and wanting to, and not wanting to be, it's Nicola the skater, but it's Nicola who's got a message, and I want to pass on a message which is authentic to me. And so following this, the natural thing was like, okay, it's an homage to the Air Force One.
Yeah.
So I want to play on this. And yeah, basically I've been watching a lot of old Nike ads, where they used to do like the basketball shoes and they always had like a sketch, you know,
Yeah.
something that was happening, and they were quite fun, you know. So
Mhm.
I mean, after watching a few of those, these came out. I just pictured the whole video in my head, and I pitched it to Rafa, who's the video maker for
Mhm.
Power Slide, and he lives here in Barcelona. And he was supposed
Nice.
to do it. And I pitched it to him, and he was like, "Oh, you know, what about if I really like it? What about if in this part this happens rather than this?" And so he even he helped me in a couple of bits that made it even
Awesome.
better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we just went
Cool.
and did it, and yeah, it was just like that. It was
Collaborative.
yeah, you know, tight time, not too many resources, so you know,
Yeah.
it could have definitely even been you know, more thought or more detailed and all that, but I feel like that what we had, I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, it came out great.
And I'm glad, you know, like people appreciated it, because you know, sometimes I have a bit of a conflict between me wanting to I don't know, showcase my skating abilities, and which is a bit more of a newer part of me, because as I said, like, this is more of a recent thing that I learn new things of skating, but the original message that I've always had since forever, and then since, especially when I started skating, was more about like, oh, I just want people to appreciate skating because it's cool, you know. Like, it's not about how difficult and especially how difficult something is, but just, you know, skating is so cool,
Yeah.
and I just want to pass on that message, and yeah, sometimes I forget, you know, because I get taken by these I want to do something that is more difficult or something that, you know, and sometimes lose a bit the original goal, which was like, just, you know, just keep it cool. As long as it's cool, it's all right. And a lot of times, you know, especially in this moment where I feel like skating is growing, but at the same time, a lot of the people don't have much depth, so they don't have a deep understanding of the actual the skating, you know, like a lot, especially when it comes to big wheels.
Yeah.
If you go into aggressive, there's way more depth, where people understand the tricks, and you know, like, more difficult tricks are more appreciated by the general crowd.
Right.
But in our let's call it big wheel world, most of the people don't have that much depth. So if sometimes you try to showcase like a detail, or like, oh, you know, this will switch or whatever, like,
Yeah.
just goes over everyone's head, and you end up, you know, missing an opportunity to convey a message. And keeping it simple and just cool sometimes is what, you know, works best in this type of moment. You know, I wish I want the whole thing to grow, so that, you know, there'll be more depth, but I feel like right now, that's a bit where we're at. So sometimes getting lost into the little detail is cool, but you want to keep in mind that it will only reach a handful of people,
Couple
you know.
hundred people.
Yeah. That's a really
Yeah. It's like not serving, but like doing tricks for like the core of people who are also trying to do similar tricks, as opposed to this much larger population of people who have skates, and it's not necessarily something, you know, that they're
Yeah.
trying a trick. They're not going to go try a trick 100 times
Yeah.
and understand that that's how much it takes to do that trick, or maybe they don't even really watch like full length videos or whatever. Not that there's like a ton to really
Yeah.
consume for big wheel skating, but yeah, it's interesting how the aggressive community, there's much more of a insular, like people are providing videos for each other that they know each other will appreciate. And if we do that for wizard skating, it's only a couple hundred people, you know.
Yeah.
So
But
it can
they've
be
got
more
more
approachable. Yeah.
they've got more history. They've got like
Yeah.
someone, for example, like recently, I feel like having someone like Tom Moyes and people who talk about the industry and that they keep kind of like, they have a little bit of gossips, they have like
Yeah.
something going on. I feel like all these are essential for having a healthy culture, you know, for having a culture. And I think like big wheels, it doesn't have the same history. It doesn't have the same amount of people who have such a like deep I don't know, catalog, a deep history again, and I think it's growing now. It's being born right now. That this is what we're doing today. I guess is part of it somehow. But yeah, you need, you know, for me personally, because my original intention was, you know, to bring skating to a larger audience, and take it a bit out of this little bubble there. Because when I started skating again 10 years ago, I thought that skating was as big as skateboarding, you know? Like I skated as a kid, and I skateboarded as well. Like I just loved all these type of freestyle sports. And, you know, then I came back into skating at 23 or something. And I thought that skating was as big as skateboarding. And I ended up finding that it wasn't, and it was considered not cool and all this. And it didn't make sense to me, because I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, how can people not think the same? How can the whole world have forgotten about this? Because everybody skated back in the day, you know, like everybody had rollerblades. So how come right now it's not? And so that was my original motivation. It's like, oh, I need to show to people how cool it is, and that was the original message. So I didn't have any type of skill other than jumping and I don't know, maybe going fast. I didn't even know you could go backwards. So
Like when you were doing the old Insta360 videos on YouTube.
When I started again.
Oh yeah.
Before that, I got my first big wheel setup, and I didn't know that you could go backwards. I met a guy first day putting skates in London. I met a guy randomly. I skated in this mall, and randomly that was the mall where all the skaters met.
Wow.
Completely random, man. Like it was meant to be.
And awesome.
I meet this guy who's very known slalom skater in London, Asian guy called CJ, and you know, I had no idea who he was, nothing. And you know, I just see him with the cones. I had no idea what he was doing. And I was like, I just saw him doing some footwork, and I was like, hey man, teach me something, you know. And he's like, oh, do the cross going backward. And I was like, wow, like
did you figure it out right then, or what?
I didn't even know you could go backwards. So you know, he made me cross, and
yeah,
that was the whole start.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the original message was like that I still feel like I carry, but sometimes I get taken from the core community. I get lost in the core community.
Yeah, it's dark in there.
Start doing core things, but my main message was, you know, let's get it to larger audience. Let's get it out of the bubble. So just to say that a video like the NT one, it was a bit more for that.
Yeah.
Towards.
No, for sure. I definitely think it comes through in how it's portrayed as well. So, cool. Thanks for answering that. That was a fun little bit.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom told me, like, my parents normally they watch the skating videos and they're like, oh, it's too long. I cannot, like the older YouTube videos. Like, it was like, I just watch. It's nice, but I watch a couple minutes and it's the same thing over and over. Where this one, a lot of people who normally don't, they have nothing to do with skating. Maybe I know them from before, and they reached out to me and they were like, "Oh, it's such a cool video. It kept me on watching it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that means it's done the job.
It did its duty. It did what I wanted.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see a feature length film at some point. Like, what do you think? 5-10 years down the line, do you think we'll see skates in movies, or like, what do you kind of? I know you're talking about getting more people into it, but like, like to what end? What do you think? I don't know.
Just for me, seeing where roller skating is going, it tells me that it's there already. We are there already. Usher, he does concerts with his skates on. He takes he's got a skater group. They take on tour with him, and they just tour around the US, maybe the world, and he's got some of the best skaters ever. So like, it's already happening. It's just they're not using inlines. So I think that we just need to kind of like keep going for when the moment comes, because it's there. I to me, at least for me, it's there. It's like, if people love to ski, how can they not love to glide in the street? It's just
100%.
Just
it's the lift, the gondola.
Yeah,
yeah.
But then you go ice skating, and
Yeah.
Cool, people love gliding. Even they don't know. So I don't know. There's something that's blocking, maybe the stigma of whatever. It might be the fact that there hasn't been enough cool people to showcase it to the masses, and like, definitely, there's been a campaign that's been played that made skating look a bit goofy through the years, So I think this is undeniably a bit the problem, and I think it's up to us to kind of like show that it's not necessarily like that, and that we can be much closer to all these things that people already love than what they think. Like, I don't know. And for me, skiing, like, I don't know. You love sneakers. How come you don't love a skate? Like, if you love sneakers, you got. I feel like.
Imagine if they had wheels.
Everyone.
And there's so many.
Imagine if they had wheels. Imagine the sneakers had wheels.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's gotta be like, just the skate itself, the way it's designed and all. There's gotta be some of an appeal, just of the aesthetic of it, for people who like I don't know, clothes and fashion and all these. I'm not saying all of them, but I think that the potential is there, and same as
I agree.
People who love skiing is like, oh, if you love skiing, how come you don't love gliding in the streets and potentially skiing if you're in a downhill? People who like resistance training, like speed skating. I think. I don't really. I'm the opposite of that, but I still think
you skate for miles and do cardio.
So it's fun, you can switch especially in the city, like, maybe if you live in I don't know, countryside in the hills, maybe it's not exactly the first go-to sport, but if you live in a city, it's like That's so convenient for so many different things that I'm not saying skating has to be the best thing ever, because everybody is like, it can be to me, to others other things can be, but it's definitely not where it should be, in my opinion, and I don't know, man, like, to answer your question, anything like just as much as people wanna integrate it in whatever they're doing, I think I can see it even to the point where no cars, no
Yeah.
no nothing, and people just skate, and you just teach it at school, like you teach kids to skate because that's the most convenient piece of equipment to go around, and maybe the dupes with the spread foot.
Yeah, with
Don't
the
keep
toe
your
shoe.
feet- You don't want to keep your feet in a small boot all day, because that's not convenient.
It's
Like
not
we
convenient.
don't want to,
Yeah.
like, look, there's one thing that's changed for me from when I started and until now, and it's when I started, I was skating like 10 hours a day, 12 hours, and I was just like skating from the morning till when I wasn't working, I was skating, and it was like I want to make up for all the years that I haven't been doing it.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that for sure.
And I think there's a limit where it's like, hey man, you're not designed to skate. Sometimes it's like, okay, fair enough, my body is designed to walk and run. That's what we
And dance.
our evolution has took us there, and not to move continuously with these sideway movements. So I think there's a limit that needs to be accepted, where there is like, don't take it too far, and like it works in the city, it works when it's like commuting, it works for a lot of things, but yeah, I'm definitely not saying that we should grow wheels out of our feet. It's like,
why not? Why not?
Because they'll wear out. No. No, I would love wheels that don't wear out, and I would love skates that just feel nice, and maybe like
don't climb a tree. You still like they won't be.
There's nothing. Yeah, I do love that. Like ventilation is nice on the dupes. In terms of like curb appeal and getting people into them, it's unfortunate because those skates were very hard to control the way that they originally released them. And then I put like the one piece cuff on there, and like they're like proper skates, but like you never see them. Like no one is. They're not like in the big box store. Like I guess Decathlon is a big box store. They started selling some skates and stuff, but it's just a very traditional style. I don't know. I still think that the best kind is like a full wrap boot. Like the dupe is not the answer. But I do think that there's like those small trips. Like I just went to the store to get some batteries for our Halloween costumes, and I didn't have to lock up my bike. I rolled directly into the store. I know that they don't mind it. And I do feel like, because I live in the middle of the city here, like it is more convenient than a bike. Like it really is. And then in some stores you have to take them off. Okay, have skates that you can take off. Like, so I am curious to see
leave those stores.
Yeah, grocery stores almost never let me go in. So
really,
yeah, I mean, and they have the nicest floors too. It's a shame, but
that's why I have my headphones in and pretend like I don't hear anyone.
Yeah, and you just glide through. I do love the feeling of gliding through a store, and it catches people's eye because you're not bouncing and walking through, and they're just like, what the hell? Like, what was that guy? Especially if you have a little bit of a movement to it too, like you're still dancing through the grocery store. Like, I don't know. I just, the main thing I'm thinking of is the joy of dancing while you're moving through space. Like, I rode bikes religiously for years, and I always was trying to kind of dance, like with my hands off the handlebars and stuff, and it kind of works. And like I would ride BMX and get more of that more of that energy I could put into the overall movement, but like nothing compares like to rollerblading. Like skateboarding, you can dance too, but it's different. Like it's
different.
You're detached from the thing. So in any case,
I wouldn't compare them.
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
others,
it's a different,
incomparable.
Mm-hmm. Biking is relatively like, because you're facing forward, you're like doing a thing, but in any case, yeah,
you cannot press your bike. I don't know. It's. I mean, you can, but
there's some people, yeah.
Someone who just uses a bike, you can't go from like being on a bike lane to a pedestrian area to back on the bike lane to onto the road. It's like the bike's like going
on a regular bike. You can't.
Yeah, sure. But
BMX in the urban environment is amazing. I will say.
Yeah, there's a group in the city. There's a group in the city in Boston that goes through sometimes, like a huge group. And I've skated with them a couple times. I've just been out skating, and they're wild. The stuff they do, the wheelies and like.
The wheelie crews that's a different kind of feeling to me. Like we were talking about small frames and big frames and stuff. Like I have a mountain bike, and it's long, right? It's a big bike, and I just can't move as freely on that bike as I can on a BMX bike. BMX bike is like the 4x80 of bikes, and then you have a mountain bike that's like more like a 4x110, let's say, or like a road bike is like a speed skating setup where you definitely not jump in on that thing. So I do think there's some interesting analogs. Not all of this will make sense, but like the smaller the thing is, the more your body is the dominant aspect, or like the dominant like part of the machine, let's say.
A bit like the skates.
Yeah, the smaller the more compact your frames are, like the less
way to put it.
It has to be like, because then you skate a Wizard Advanced frame, like people are like, look at those skates. It's like, look at the skates, right? Versus you skate a 4x80, they're like, look at that guy. It's a different. I mean, it's whatever.
It is a bit like that. It is a bit like that. And I like the way you put it. That the smaller the frame. I mean, you were talking about bikes, but
sure.
That made sense. And it's like the more the body is kind of like dominant in the result.
Yeah, which part is?
And then the more you go on a bigger frame, the more like the limits are for the body, and it's more like it's now because that's the other thing, it's like skating is so convenient, man. Like you can do I think the reason why you can compare it to many things and find things in common with like skateboarding, bikes, and whatever. But I think what makes inline skating so special is the convenience of a lot of different things. Like you can ride a skateboard and it's cool and all that, but like to commute is not as it's not as convenient. And same for a bike. I mean, for long distance it's more convenient, but when it comes to a city, still the skates are more convenient, and especially where there's a lot of traffic, pedestrians and stuff like that. And
I skated to school for 2 years. Like it was one of the easiest things ever. And I just, if I needed to go to school, I just pop them off, and it was
And I remember also in the 90s in Italy, in my city, there was a mall, and all the shopping assistants. Are they called shopping assistants? There was just ladies, and they were on roller skates. They were
cool.
Mall, and they all had their uniform. They were wearing quads, and they were just skating around, and all of them, the cashier, and it was really cool. I mean, back then that was normal, and then they changed the like mall companies, let's say, and that was gone. But during the years, I heard that also in other countries, places, they had the same thing back then, and I think that's so convenient,
Yeah, it's like less effort too. I mean, if they're going to be working and walking around all day versus skating around, like it makes sense. It's also probably like more profitable for the business because they're achieving more in a shorter amount of time. But I also think that the individuals are having like a better time too, and there's like just maybe a little more joy to it. I would think.
Yeah, and in that case, I would say that a quad makes more sense, because if you're like to spend time on them like during the day, then I think that having that stability is kind of a bit more healthy, where always being on a line and having to balancing make us take some very weird posture where we're like end up like resting on our outside edges or inside, and if you repeat this every day for whatever amount of hours, it's gonna have some toll on your hips, feet are gonna start going weird, and I think inline skating has got its limits, but done with a bit of consciousness, it's definitely amazing.
Yeah, I think this is the year I'm gonna get some quad skates. I put some on at the shop. I was in a moment of skate crisis, and I was like, let me try those on, and they're like really high end, so they didn't have
like the Adapt. You're gonna get the Adapt.
No. The softest boot. I want the softest possible boot, because I put on these antique skates, and they lace all the way to the toe, like to the very end, all the way up. And they were more comfortable than any shoe I even put on, like let alone skate, right? And I know that they're not as practical for cruising around, because having two wheels hitting a crack versus one wheel hitting a crack is like just way safer to be on inlines. It's the same kind of principle to skateboarding, right? Where it's just like pow, 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 So, but I do want to cross train, and I want also to be able to skate completely pain free and not have it be like a dupe that's kind of like this big chunky thing, like the so I'm gonna have the skate shop hopefully for Christmas or something like that, like mount up some what do they call them, plates, and get a whole setup going and everything. So I saw, Nicola, you have the Flanner's Click, I think is.
Yeah, I have them here, man.
Do you find that like you want to skate those in certain scenarios, or do you usually like lean
put them
towards
on
the
a few
inline?
days ago inside the house because it was raining outside, and I was really going for a skate, like on my inlines, and then it started raining, and I want to dance, and I ended up saying like, I'll just put those inside, and I'll just stay inside, and I ended up doing a couple of spins here. But to be honest, man, that's the thing. Like, I really love the whole package. So I love going around. I love sliding. I love jumping. I love like the whole free skate thing. And those don't do it for me. It's like they don't have the. If I was strictly dancing.
Right,
then,
they do one thing really good. Yeah.
Yeah, then that would have been the most natural option, but it's not really. I enjoy them. Like whenever I get to, I don't know, I used them last time. It was apart when I did some shoots for Flanners, I used them sometimes when I go to a quad event, or maybe a roller disco or whatever, and
that's right. That would be fun to have those, something like that. Seems like it would be a good time.
Or I remember sometimes I go to the beach and I just hang out at the jam spot and with the music, and I dance, and then maybe I skate around, but it's more like of a stroll. I don't have these expectations of. But I noticed that. For my style, I can do most of it on the inlines. Plus, on the inlines, I have a whole new spectrum of things that I can do, and it's just more convenient. But I really enjoy them, and I believe that the Flanners are really cool, but I should definitely get on dedicated quad to really feel the potential of them, because so far I haven't really tried any other dedicated skate. So maybe, who knows, maybe the day I try them I'm like, oh, fuck this.
Hey, Power Slide, we're gonna have to start making quads.
Yeah, I was with Chaya.
Yeah, they
already
do have. Yeah, Montre is skating those, right, and many other people, but yeah.
Nice, very cool.
I really like the shape of the Bont ones. Like, if you look at those from the top,
Yeah, those look great.
Bont.
Bont.
Yeah, Bont. They do custom stuff too. My local shop just became like a certified custom. They'll make a mold of a foot and get a custom, like more for speed skating, I think, but they'll also do it for quads. But just generally, the skates don't have to be, the boots don't have to be as stiff. So it just seems like it's just a more comfortable experience. But, then you lose out on maybe the power, or like you mentioned a slide. I've seen one video, if you know Swiss Roller School, he's like obviously from Switzerland. There's a video where someone on quad skates is bombing a hill and lays a power slide, parallel slide. I wouldn't even call it a parallel slide because they're not tilted. But I mean, oh my god! Like, pray for his ankles, right? Yeah. Like, just
no, they do with the right wheels and all that.
Yeah. Well, on the rink, especially
like a skateboard,
too. Yeah, I want that. Like, I can do like a like frontside power slide and get the like like the sound of the wheels vibrating. Like, I want that on quads. I think that'd be sick in the skate park. Like,
super cool.
Just barking them. Like, no one would have any idea what you're doing.
I think it's completely possible, but that's the thing for me is like with the flanners, it's not, because then
they're soft, right? And you'll just
soft.
The wheels too are probably soft, so they're just gonna bite. Putting skateboard wheels on. Yeah, and I would probably not start with that because I would prefer an inline skate in that scenario. But like, to start with a jam skate, and have some like nice soft wheels, and then maybe I wouldn't like put any grind plates on. With some skateboard wheels, like, that's such a good sound. Anyway, so
might be the thing.
It might be sick.
I've seen these guys who, like, I haven't really skated with them, but for example, in Madrid, there's a group of people who go around on quads, and they strictly do street skating, but with quads. And they have
plates, all that.
No, not street, like just cruising around.
Oh, like urban skating. Yeah. Okay.
Like urban skating.
Big longboard wheels.
Yeah, they've got these super wide trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Very wide. Like, if you see it, the shape of the whole thing is crazy.
Looks like a little monster truck, like a little.
Like big wheels, crazy wide trucks, and they've got a longer base. Mm-hmm. So you don't have like the toe stopper. They have like a longer blade, so it's like a big thing, and they go around the whole city. And Madrid is all hills, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do the slides and all those things. So that
interesting.
Yeah, that might be even a darker place than what we are.
Like narrower. Like there's so few people that are really doing that, skating like any sort of distance on them. It really feels like it's a very predominantly indoor sport. But then I do see like the Supreme, Bauer, like the hockey skate quads, where they're clearly like doing the street skates and like the urban skate and everything. So
London is huge. Like there's a lot of people who do urban skating with the quads. Although the prevalence maybe is more like dancing or maybe jamming at the spot and doing like the stuff there, but a lot of them they do skate around the city on the quads, and I love the way that, for example, that culture is evolving. I think there's definitely a connection with Black culture, just because the people doing it are predominantly Black. They kind of like link it to just Black culture, and maybe
it's like the rink culture in America is
as well,
huge.
no?
Yeah. Especially like the indoor rink, like
Yeah.
you just see much larger groups skating than you ever see on the street. Like in the rink is how I see it. So yeah, so I mean, when it does transfer to street skating, yeah, it's gonna like carry like rink culture and like that kind of thing out into the streets. Like it's awesome. I mean, some of the footwork, especially like at speed, like the fakie pushing that I see, or if you've ever seen that viral video of the lady where she was like running and then she like starts going, but she's like, is it chopping where they're like, crossover run? It's so sick. Like, short frame matters, you know, like they're not going to do that on. It would literally be the size of a skateboard. Like, like quad advanced is just wearing skateboards on each foot, right? Wait a second, hold on. So,
it's like you see that clip of the guy from the Halloween Wednesday night skate last week with the stilts and you had skateboards on the bottom of the stilts.
That's how he was doing it.
Yeah, his skateboards on the bottom of the stilts are like built into these like shoes, I guess, or like, you know, and he was like 10 feet tall. And some of the clips are very, very funny, but that's essentially what you just mentioned.
Do a board slide. Well, that's cool. It's cool to see like the equipment. You know, it's more shared between skateboarding and quad skating, whereas inline is like totally separate. But I feel like and because of that shared kingpin or truck or whatever, it gets to borrow like core points and cool factor from skateboarding. Like if you watch Lazo and, you know, all the kind of street quad skating, it's all filmed by skateboarders. It's all like, it has that aesthetic. And I do think like it's kind of nice that inline is not really trying to associate necessarily. Like there's not really, sure, like you've got some brands that have a little more of like a punk or rock, like Mesmer kind of, you know, maybe black and white with some metal music kind of vibe. Like
aggressive is definitely closer to skateboarding than. I mean, there's you know, let's not forget that freestyle skateboarding exists, and that's all like Wizard.
Absolutely, very good point.
Like, you know,
the
guys are
Andy Anderson and
but not Andy Anderson is a bit of a hybrid, but like people who do freestyle, you know, they'll just do 3 turns and manuals and spins and dances and like, you know, and then just fucking.
It's like the dance longboarding. Have you seen anyone do
as
that?
well?
Yeah. A friend of mine who I met in New Jersey, Daniel Lindsay, who he's actually won the Broadway Bomb a couple of times. You know, when they do that, Billy, in New York, they do a big longboard race that like races down the Broadway street in New York City.
Okay, no.
And a buddy of mine who does like really good longboard like dance stuff has actually won that a few times, and he does very similar. And he like when we would skate together, like I'd be wizard skating and he'd be like dance like longboard skating, and it was like the vibe felt very like we're kind of doing the same thing a little bit, if that makes sense. Like the same.
Yeah, I want to see an event like that. I want to see like wizard slalom, quad skate, freestyle skateboarding, longboarding, like flatland BMX is in this category as well. Like it's all separate from the dominant skateboarding culture, in my opinion. Right? Like none of it really has handrails and hammers, and
none of it's core.
Right, or like it's just not affiliated, or it's been pushed out. Either way, like it's a separate thing. And I don't know. I feel like maybe in like the 5-10 year time range, there's like going to be more crossover events that have I don't know, just multiple disciplines. Like I just envision like a really crazy dance off where everyone has their own. Bring your own implement. Who cares what you have? Like we're gonna play music. It's gonna be live, all improvised, and like, you know, if you want to jam on a skateboard, that's what feels good. Go for it. You got a BMX bike? I don't care. You know, like that would be insane. That would be so cool. But like, there's no like consortium. You know, there's no like discussion going on amongst the groups. I don't think it's just little conversations. You know, within each group, not across groups. So I don't know. I don't really see any flatland BMXers or freestyle skateboarders or even the longboarders here. It's just quads and inline and then normal skateboarding. Like, so I wouldn't really be able to do that in my city, but like, do you guys see like flatland BMXers or like longboard? I guess maybe some of the longboard dancing you might have like at the W.
So some longboard dancers around I see, but they most of the time it seems like they. I mean, actually, before I used to see them more at the Barceloneta, so by the beach. Lately, I haven't been on much. I've seen people practicing like the surfboard,
Surf skate, yeah,
surf
with
skate.
the carving truck.
Yeah. I see people practicing those. I see people practicing, but I don't see that many longboard dancer. What I was gonna show you is that you were talking about the similarities with skateboarding, and I feel like what we are. What I feel like we are similar is a bit more like the dance culture, you know. We were talking about this. I don't remember when and where, but you remember I was telling you, like, I think rather than a skate game, it should be more like a dance battle.
Yeah,
And
break dance battle would be amazing, or roller dance, break dance, whatever. But
just or maybe like you can still do your tricks to the music, and then I saw this that these two guys that I follow in skateboarding are.
Let me see if I can put. Oh, there we go. I'll just. Yeah, Sergio. I was gonna ask Super Rat and Sergio.
So they go like
sick.
Just.
And it was back and forth, right? Like
back and forth.
I think that's the way. Versus like a long
guys
run.
just going fucking.
They're crazy.
So cool.
Yeah.
Sergio's one of my favorites, man. He's so fluid. And Super Rat is like on another planet, right? He's like Gumiyagi, like just completely creative. Like he sees a skateboard in a different way than anyone else.
He's another guy that I don't know if you guys follow.
I just saw this one too. Yeah, I forget his name.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just like.
He just treats the skateboard like
in
a different way.
Like he's fucking.
Wow.
Yeah, no comply, king.
Just, I mean.
So the place that has all of these is Tempelhof. I realized. So I mean, we're gonna stick with the wizard thing because we gotta establish our own like identity, and I feel like part of that does need to be like, what's our fashion? What clothes do we wear? What defines it? But as I'm sitting here in a t-shirt, like just a regular skater kid, but like you got the butt. We didn't get dressed up for it. Sorry, Nicola. No. But then I think eventually like it would be interesting to. I don't know. I just want to try to like make events and just get people together.
It's like the Return Berlin thing. You know what I mean? Like the Return Berlin is such an awesome event that seems to be growing, and I am definitely going to get there this next time. I'm not going to miss it again.
Yeah.
It's like creating like stuff like that, but with a conglomerate of different kinds of sports. I think is something that is definitely needed because it's just like. Just getting communities. This outreach conversations, people trying different things. People, there's just so much to do and not enough time to try all of it. So,
where are you based, Colin?
I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, in the U.S. Yeah, so I grew up in South Florida actually, and in 2020 when the world shut down, I started skating again, and then I moved up here to finish school, and now I'm up here working, and
Nice, man.
So
but I think there was something you were playing in a video in Berlin, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I was actually stoked to that happened, so I was able to kind of sort of be a part of it. The yo-yo skate videos where I was in those, the team video, which is super cool because I do some stuff with them, which is a blast. Really, really good people. So I'm doing that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Return.
It's a great event, the Berlin one.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed. For me, the best were those spontaneous sessions that were happening. in the various spots that we've been, where there's that back and forth, and it goes. There's a conversation happening at the with movement, where I'm like, somebody does something, and you're like, oh, look at this, and then there's
Exactly.
that going on. I think that's the best. That's the best thing to kind of like to do, and to also show. I think that's the best to showcase to the others.
Mhm.
As we're speaking here, that's what also you want to show. That's why like the skate game is definitely cool, and for me
Yeah.
it's super fun. But it doesn't really it's not for the large audience.
Yeah, it's more like the really technical trick that you post,
Yes.
and a few people like it.
People who know it, but
Yeah.
people who don't, a skate game is not as spectacular as a jam could be, and that's why like my thing was a bit more like, just play the music and let people speak, like make two teams and let them speak between them, and see what's up. And I think for me that's what could be a bit more taking the eyes of other people who are like, oh, what the fuck is going on? These guys are
and there's
talking
hype,
through,
and everyone's
through these fucking movements on the skates, and I think people could kind of maybe understand it a bit better, rather than I did I don't know, whatever trick that is a bit
We talked about it. Me and Billy talked about that conversation a little bit when I think our first go at this, right? First or second.
Yeah. One of the recent chats. I was advocating for a breakdance battle
and then,
format.
kind of talking to my local community, because there's a pretty past couple of years the wizard community in Boston has kind of grown a little bit, which is super cool. And,
Nice.
I'm stealing a lot of my aggressive skate friends and making them bigger with me, which is kind of helping grow that a little bit. But we talked about that a little bit, and the overall consensus was so positive. We're that would be game of flag, game of skate, whatever. That's fun and cool and exciting. But that kind of style where it's even we're talking about the crews, the crews doing a competition in that sense would be so much fun and so much more easily digestible for people who are not necessarily in it, to your point. So that would be such a blast, and we gotta make it happen.
It needs to happen, man, because then there could be so much that get thrown in, and it could all of a sudden a slalom skater, somebody with a slalom technical skill, could just fucking go in and kill everyone. I think that's fair enough,
And a quad skater could too, or a figure skater,
as long as you do it to the music, and you're skating, I think you should put some certain rules, but just keep them simple, and I think that's what can take these to the next level, but I think everything that's happening already is great. I'm just eager to make this, see this, and to be in.
I'm gonna try some here. I noticed though there's some people that can jam skate for a while, and there's some people who really prefer to do one trick or one combo, and then come back to we'll all be lined up, and then we take turns going into the space and kind of coming back, and then oh, would you just try that? Let me try that, and add something. That's the conversation aspect. If there was music playing though, I feel like people would naturally go longer. They would, because you're not gonna feel the music and do 2 gazelles, right? You're gonna feel the music and do a couple gazelles, and then push off and do a few more, and I don't know. I feel like we have to just try, and then something will come out of it. Oh, those were too short of turns. Those were too long of turns. This is just right. Anyway, sorry.
A game that some friends of mine play, they do I think they call it add-on, where they'll they'll create a line, and someone will do this, and then it'll be okay, do this, and then add this, So I think they called add-on. I'm not sure where they got it from, but that's like kind of reminds me of what you were just saying. But that's super fun if you guys ever like tried that kind of game. Super fun. Like someone will add a gazelle and then like either like a toe press or whatever, or like you know what I mean. Like just, they add it. They see how long.
Yeah,
exactly. But it's like they see how long they can get the sequence, so it's like impossible. So that's kind of something funny. And also another point I do want to bring up is like competing in like I recently competed in an aggressive skate competition here in Boston where we do like a yearly jam, and they do it in heats, right? So there was 10 minutes of for each heat, and when I started, like, you have 10 minutes to get in as many tricks as possible. And all of a sudden, minute 6, I was like, wow, I'm really tired. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I can't believe, like I've never skated this hard for this like amount of time on purpose. You know what I mean? Like because like to your point, you know try it and you take a break or whatever. I just thought that was an interesting point to bring up. Maybe not super relevant, but it's like
how many people in a heat? Was it like 5 people in a heat?
It was like seven or 8 people.
Okay, so you're like sharing the park, but it's not like it's not like everyone's trying to get like a run. I was just
trying to get everything that I could in those 10 minutes, and like minute 6-7 minutes, I was like, wow, I'm tired.
Tapped out.
No, it was a good time. I made it to the second round, which I was very excited about. But it was it was a good time.
Yeah, there's some opportunity. I want to try like a head-to-head, like 2 people at a time, where it's back and forth. And I do think then it'd be interesting to have like a handful of people when you're taking turns, and it's a little more organic that way versus like you're on the spot, you know, and it's like it's a different kind of feeling.
You synchronize movements, create a little like choreograph thing for it.
I have done that once or twice. One of my friends was like, "All right, I'm going to teach you some choreography," and I struggled, like just keeping that many things in my head at the same time. So, anyway, we'll see where it goes.
In a battle, you know, like even a lot of times in a rap freestyle battle, you know, you come with a whatever punchline, and then the other guy will take the last couple of words and kind of like twist them to like rebuttal. How do you say
exactly? Yeah.
And I think that's very cool when it comes to dancing or even skating, because you may do a trick or a move, and I'm like, oh, all right, so I'll take that move and do it again, but then put my own twist to it, and then you're like, yeah, now what? And I think that's what can make the conversation a bit more understandable, because now even a person who doesn't know what trick that was, he can see, oh, he did that, and now he did it, but he did it his own way, and it was fun, simple concept, and it like got out rather than understanding exactly what he did, or whatever.
I noticed that difference when I watch a breakdance battle. There's a lot more interplay or give and take, let's say, like between the 2 opponents or whatever. When I watch that same format with Flatland BMX, there was like a full circle or whatever it was called, circle of flat. There was a lot less back and forth interaction. It felt a lot more like they had kind of a run that they were planning, and they got it timed to 30 seconds. And there's a little bit of like, crowd involvement, like, yeah, let's give it up. But it wasn't with the breakdancing. There was more of a like, almost like mocking the move that was just done, and being like, I can do that too. Like, just it's a little more personal versus like watching people perform stunts, right? Like we want to watch like a personal interaction and have like some connection to it, because it gets us fired up too. Like, damn, and he just did that, and he just did that. Like, he gets you all fired up versus like he did his performance, or she did her performance, and then this other person, which one was better? It's like
you root for Billy and you root for Nicola. Like, who's gonna whose side do you want?
But then
also
you get involved
a little bit the other one, which can be fun. Maybe I don't know. You can do something, and I can kind of like go in and maybe trying to imitate your style, but then
Yeah. Yeah, I do impersonations of a couple of my friends skating, like in my group all the time. Like one of my best friends, Bianca, she was a classically trained figure skater, beautiful skater, and I like will be like, okay, I'm doing my Bianca, and then I'll like do like her like style of like fakey crossovers and like have my arms out like she does, or like my friend Emmett, he's a speed skater, he's got a really like significant stride, and I'm like, this is my Emmett. I go into it. So that's all. Like that just made me think of that. But I'm just a goofy guy. I do goofy stuff like that. But
I think it's fun.
It'd be great. Yeah, because it's personality. It's like we don't want to look like robots, you know, doing our stunts or like our tricks. Like it's got to be like art. I mean, it becomes like personal. It's like art is personal, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like, and that's why that video was so cool. Like the NT1.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, going back to that, I just thought of it as like you didn't do the classic skate video, you know.
Which is
like,
good.
Yeah, but you also did that, and you know in your first frame from promo, and I feel like I don't know, I'm relating to that because I feel like the first Toe Jam video was a very like skate video, you know, sections and all that stuff, and then the second one is, which I'm gonna put out on next Friday, is very much more chill. It's very like it kind of tells more of the story of what our sessions are. You get to see the people as opposed to just the skates. You know, like I don't care what your skates are doing.
Yeah.
Like that's like a very kick flip, heel flip. Like I don't care. I want to see like your overall movement and like what kind of crazy positions did you get in. So
what was the even a little bit of the human behind the skates, you know. I think that's what's lacking, at least for example when it comes to I don't know internet content. You know, you don't really have much content that allows you to engage with the community at the human level, you know, of like just I don't know, maybe podcast or just the people expressing their opinion about things. I think the opinion is what is lacking, and I think that anything that kind of like gives you a bit more of an insight into who's behind all these, I think allows also the others to connect, because someone who, you know, gets into the sport and just finds movement, but no human side, no one talking, no one I don't know, exposing their flaws and their whatever. It's it's a bit it just keeps us a bit in the where we are already.
I was actually, this is crazy random timing, but I was just going to say somebody who provides a personal connection is Ari. Like
perfect example.
I mean, he obviously like shot through the roof in terms of
what's good, Daddy,
popularity, I guess I would say, but like, you know, because he's talking to the camera, like what a big difference, good, you know, man. And there's more to it. I mean, skating in a dangerous scenario, like obviously there's like your blood pressure goes up when you're watching somebody skate between cars and stuff too, but like his YouTube is very like personable as well. Like
and also
for it, you know,
like I mentioned with like the anti-bone video, it's like the storytelling aspect of it, which is like so lacking when it comes to like, well, not so, I don't want to say so lacking, but not as commonplace when it comes to like classic skate video, right? So yeah, then that's another aspect of for like Ari's content that he's very, you know, positive on. So
yeah, and I feel like the FSK video had a little bit more story too. Like it's it's a skate video, but like it's got a message to it, and you feel like the group vibe and everything like that.
For
so
sure.
yeah,
there's 2 more coming that we filmed the last season before the summer. And one is gonna come out, I think, next week, and then there's another where you get a little bit more of that, and then there's gonna be a third one coming out likely in November at some point, I think, and that is gonna be, I believe, even more give a bit more insights. And I think, I don't know, the plan is from now on to also start changing a bit the style of the content we make and make it a bit more towards that direction. Because yeah, I think that's the way to go for the moment, and but always keep it skating, and always at some point offer the strictly skating thing. But I think we need to start filling the box of that type of content more, because it's a bit empty right now,
Sure.
And bridging that gap. Yeah.
If you wanna build a culture around big wheels, we need this type of thing. We need some type of drama, gossip. We need some
rumble in the street.
Let's beef, Billy. Let's
Well, I mean, the dance battle has a little bit of that. It's like a micro drama, but I will say that the dominant aesthetic, or like what does big wheel skating culture look like? I don't think it makes sense for us to try to beat our head against the wall doing skateboard style videos, right? Like it's got its place. That's cool. Like, I still enjoy that kind of video, but there's an opportunity to bridge between the incredibly like social urban skate community, which is not really focused on tricks. Some people jump down some stairs here and there and do some fakey stair bashes and stuff like this, but they're not. Most people at the urban skating events that I go to are skating like when we're going places, and then when we get to a spot, they'll just post up and socialize. And so, but bridging between and showing and reflecting that that's like a social reality for like adults to be doing, and that it's like a cool, fun thing. You're meeting people, like showing that as part of a video where there's also a couple of stunts or a couple of more technical things, just to kind of show the full range. I think we only usually want to show that most challenging thing that we've done, or the biggest stair set. Literally, the video leads up to the banger, right? Like the hardest trick you can do.
Right.
And you edit it that way as well, right? Like that's like the whole point, is to shock and awe. But
it's interesting what you said is very interesting. It's like let's say you make a party culture, party culture.
Mm-hmm.
People go to a club just to dance, and all they do is socialize, dance, and listen to the music, and I think that's what, I'm not sure about this, but I believe that's what they are proud of, and it's like, oh, this is our culture, and that's what we do, and it's cool. And I think that maybe embracing this part of, because I have never been really good. I am not good at embracing that social part as a sort of like, oh, that's part of the sport. I always think I always think that of course happens, but I don't. I never really consider it. I don't know.
Well, think about if we were just not on skates and we were just walking around the city and then hanging out at a plaza, and then walking down the street and hanging out at another plaza, and like some people are doing parkour or something like that. Like, the skates give us a reason to be in public, and like they kind of justify our like existence in that space, right? I mean, as temporary as it may be, like our urban skate, we bop around, and usually if we hit like a good skate spot or a skate park, I'll be like, all right, 10 minutes here, like, and then we're gonna move on. But like, if I'm just like, not only is it a shared activity where like we can talk about skates, but it's also just an opportunity for us to be, instead of at a bar or at a cafe, we're just in the streets hanging out. I find it fascinating. Like, the bike ride groups were like this as well. When I was leading bike ride groups, we would just be at some random park 20 miles out from the city. Like, we would never be there otherwise. But essentially, our group was just like a roving cafe hangout. We just happened to be on a bike or on a skate. I don't know if this makes sense, but like, the skates give us like that reason to be there. I don't know. And like, it feels nice. I don't know. Otherwise, it's like, what do I do with my hands? It's like, what do I do with my feet? You know, I can just skate. So, and some people would rather socialize in that scenario. Some people would rather jump on the obstacles. But even if you're jumping on obstacles, you're talking to the other people who are also doing that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you should try this. You should try that. Like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
it's just a cool thing. Like I don't know. There's not a lot of other examples of it. Like aside from like other action sports groups, like the wheelie, you know, like bikes or like skateboarders don't really do this so much. Like cruise around and do urban skateboarding. Like you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's special, and I do think that it's like something for adults to socialize. Like we treat it as like something for kids or whatever, but like, I mean, people have met their spouses, and you know, you make like lifelong friends and everything. So I don't know. I think we can show that more.
Yeah, just
would be cool.
I think the be out, just be out in the outdoor is what's very cool. That, you know, regardless of if you want to do difficult tricks or not, like just the fact that, you know, you're out and you're just enjoying the sun, I think that's already.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the sun here. I'm starting to get some sun in here, but it's you know, especially after like the COVID lockdowns and stuff, like some people stayed inside. I feel like, you know, like I sometimes feel like, wow, I don't really go out as much. Like I might just be getting older, but I don't really go out to bars. Like I just don't really have much interest in it. And so going out and skating, it's like, have you heard the concept of like third spaces? There's like first space is like your house, second space is work, and third space is like a place you can just be, like a cafe or a bar that you can socialize with other people. There's no like agenda to it. You're just there. And that kind of space is like very important, like a library or a cafe or whatever. And for a lot of like my friends, going out on the group skate is that third space where we can just be for as long as we want. And then sure, we'll go to a bar or whatever, but like, yeah.
Same for me, man. Yeah.
So it's special, you know.
Hey Billy, I have a question before. Well, I'm totally switching it from the conversation, but before we end, I wanted to ask you this, which is, what do you think right now that you've been skating a lot of different setups, and you also are skating maybe 480s?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and so my question is, what is the stuff that what is your why would you pick a long frame 4 against the short one? And where is, how much of in percentage of, based on what it means to you, how much does the stuff that you can only do on a long frame, what percentage occupies on what's most important for you? It's very confusing. Sorry.
No, I think I get what you mean. Like, because we've talked about, you know, previously in this conversation, we talked about like the scale of the movements or the size of the space or the, you know, how big a movement is, shrinks typically for me with the frame size. So like the 4x80 setup feels really nice in a small space, in a dancey kind of headspace, and also feels really good like short urban skating. Like if it's not going to be too long of a night, like being able to sprint and really just like run. Sorry, this lighting is pretty rough here, but to be able to just like run on my skates and kind of feel that freedom. There we go. If I go back here, but on the flip side, I don't feel the stability of being able to lean over really far and do movements like slower. Like on a 4x80, I feel like everything is very quick. Like the tempo is like bam, 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 bam. And on a like an arc frame or advanced frame, I'm gonna set aside because it's just for a second. But like an arc frame is the one I go to as my number one because it's agile, but it doesn't like stick out so much that I have to think about it the whole time. So I can still do a little bit of a toe press, a little bit of a heel press, or a good amount of that. And in terms of percentage of like, I forget exactly how you put it, but that type of trick is more important to me than having the ability to do improvised footwork, I would say. I prefer. Oh, actually, let me put it this way. When I think about a trick I want to do, I can repeat that trick more times and more consistently on a 5-wheel frame. If I'm doing something on a 4-wheel frame, it feels like there's more volatility, like I'm going to fall over or not do it as perfectly because you have to be like right on top of your skates with the 480. And I'm also tall, so I'm like 6 foot. Yeah. So it really is like a very compact thing. So yeah, I think for me it's mostly like I like longer drawn out moves, like big swooping movements, and on the 480 it's possible, but it's also like I just end up not doing that kind of movement. I end up doing like more frenetic kind of like pow, 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 like quick little stuff. So that's my perspective. And then the advanced frame, like going into the toe press stuff, that's more of like a fixation. It's not something that brings me the same flow state like a 480, right? It's much more of a I'm going to do this trick and I want it to look this way, so I'm going to like try it a bunch of times. Balance tricks, let's say. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much go for the arc for the most part. I'm finding the Wizard Advanced to be just like a bit cumbersome at the moment, especially for street skating.
And the arc is 5 wheels.
Yeah, and it's 76 in the middle, 3, and then 84 on the heads.
Yeah, I definitely think like a frame like that size is way easier to like, especially street skate in. I mean, obviously, I think a 4x90, 180 is just the easiest one, right? Like I like skating 2 spots with my advanced style frames felt just like you were saying, cumbersome. Like it feels very like I'm. It not as flowy. Like there's definitely moments where you can, but I don't know. A 4x. I mean, I've been liking the 4x100 frame a lot, personally.
Is that where you're skating the most, Colin?
What I have been skating most, I just switched it because I was trying another frame that I got. It was a 4x100 on the Raptor. So it's like kind of similar to like the carbon style 4x100. So that's definitely was my kind of my daily rider. And I think after this, I'm gonna do some skate maintenance. And I think I'm probably gonna switch back to that because I'm gonna do some urban skating this week for the Halloween skates, and that definitely felt like the best happy medium. But I think this is actually a fun question. I've asked a couple of people, and that's on this topic. If you had to pick like one kind of setup that you were just gonna skate for the rest of your life, if you had one pick, do you guys have one? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I picked the one that I just was saying.
480.
I feel like when I skate street obstacles on 480, like I enjoy how precise I can be, but I feel like I can't quite let like the true spirit of Billy like loose. Like I know I'm ripping the quote from Leon there, but the true spirit of Leon. But the like I end up like just tipping over more and like feeling like I like fall off the back.
Well, what size foot are you?
44.
Well, it's like,
giant. I'm just kidding.
You could even like go 484 or 490.
Yeah. So 490 also feels too twitchy to me. And so that's why there was a comment earlier about the 90 Ultra from Endless, and it's instead of being 273, it's 285, which is my exact foot size, 285. So the wheels are just spaced apart. So it's 490, but it's like spread out. And that one feels like
that he would to go with 4x90 for sure, which I kind of have to agree. I think either that or probably 100. I just think that's the best happy medium.
For me, it would be the Arc. I think the like a 5-wheel frame, because I'll do the group skate on a 5-wheel frame and it's fine. And I prefer the calmness that I feel when I know I'm not gonna tip over. Like, it could be my height, but yeah, for me, like, and then being able to do tricks throughout the whole skate, like that's important too. And being able to do like a heel press, toe press, like
sure, yeah.
I can just be more stylish because I can have more control versus like having to really rein in the movements that I'm doing.
I could also, for me, 4x90 would also be a very good option because whenever I use them, I'm like, God, I love them. It's such a good fun. But then yeah, it's tough because then when I go back on 480s, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I posed this question a few times. I've posed this question a few times. People tend to struggle with answering because, especially, people are in space, so we try so many different things. But definitely 4x90 or like a 580 style is like the one that I would go with. Just that's the ones I've skated most. Like when I first started skating again, and when I first actually met Ari and got really into it, I skated a 4x90. And I don't skate 4x90 very much anymore, but it definitely, like, it's something that I miss skating a lot. But I would go with that one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the speed. It definitely feels noticeably faster on 90 than 80, in my opinion. Like, obviously, I can sprint and get up to speed faster on the 80, but like the 90 just has that glide. I feel like 100 isn't as far away. Like, the amount that 90 is faster than 80 is like it tapers off, and like 100 doesn't feel like twice as fast as 80 or whatever. So
slides or 100s are so fun though.
But I also have to say that 80 is very light and I don't know. There's sort of like the lightness and the quick fit. I really enjoy the quick fit. And I don't know, me, I'm a size 42, 43.
Yeah, same.
I like that. It went on the 90s. If this is my toes and the wheel sticks out a lot, when you go and put your I don't know, whatever in the stride, you put your toes. It's kind of like always it's already a projection.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a bit out.
How do you? So the only 480 that I actually have is the endless one, and it's not squished. It's not 243. It's longer even. So I don't even think I've skated a proper traditional 4x80 that's fully squished, right, where all the wheels are like touching. I can't imagine I would feel very stable, like personally, like coming from all the experience on all these longer frames and stuff.
Right.
But I also like struggle with like doing a toe stall in like a curb or whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's...
especially I had 480s on the adapts and I like slammed my toe into the carbon and like I was like, no, like first of all the skate, but second of all my toes and
those don't work.
It takes away that trick, and that's kind of rough. Like even going upstairs, right? I kind of rely on the 5-wheel frame to just like bam, 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 bam,
bang your toes.
On the 480, you have to go like pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
No, you gotta pin Ari's comment really quick.
I can skate anything, I swear.
It's definitely some stuff that you trade, and I think for me one thing that feels incredibly good is just going on one wheel on the heel or even on the toes. It can feel good also on longer frames, but the heel, especially if you want to do a backward heel roll, on one skate, the big wheels, the big frames, they don't really, like.
It's tough for sure. I have been doing toe roll, like single toe, 3 turns on long frames, and it's feeling good. But single heel roll on a long frame is like really
Yes.
challenging.
Very forced. You know?
Yeah.
It's
The leverage is wrong. But
Yeah.
but doing double heel,
Yeah.
actually just was keep it hush hush, right? No, kidding. I did a heel press gazelle. So I was doing a forward heel press.
No, you didn't.
I was doing a forward heel press, swiveled around, and went fakey heel for a second, and it was like, and then I set it down because I was like sketched out, but actually feeling the cusp of the 3-turn, and like it was really weird because I'm sure we've all done the toe press version where you like, you toe press forward and you swivel to fakie, but the heel press one was crazy. And I know that slalom skaters do this all the time where they're doing like, and they like kind of hook forward and then like they kind of swerve backwards. But to do like a carving, I was like, oh, this might be, if I can get this on film, this would be like kind of MBD a little bit.
Yeah, I might have a clip that I was trying that exact thing in Hyde Park last time I was in London.
It's crazy to like, you do the forward heel and you have to push it out in front of you and then pull it back under. It's like a very strange. Yeah, maybe shorter frame would be the move. Maybe I can try it on it.
Fakie heel roll in general is a tough one. I'm trying really hard to get that one to look nice without staggering.
I just do them with my feet apart, but next to each other, and it on the adapts. What I find is that there's a very like sloped back to the skate. Like the skate has a forward flex built in. It really helps with getting like way up on the heels. The wizard boot doesn't have that, and it's just challenging like to get into that flexed position. But yeah, tell you what, guys, the sun is hitting me here, and I think that's my sign. It's time to go to the Halloween parade. I'm gonna skate in the Halloween parade. I might put on some light up wheels and stuff.
Spectacular! I'm very excited to see that.
It's fine. I'll get some clips. For sure. But yeah, Nicola, did you have any like kind of parting questions or words or anything like that?
No, man, I was looking for that, but couldn't find it. But yeah, man, no, it was a nice chat.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, we went long. It's like 2 hours and a half almost. So
awesome.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining, Nicola, and thanks to folks who stuck around and hung out. Ari was on here and a bunch of other folks. So look forward to doing more of these. And
yeah, man. That was great. It was nice. It's nice to meet you, Nicola. Thanks for taking the time.
Same for me.
Yeah.
Same for me, Colin.
Awesome, man.
Hey guys, have a good rest of the day.
All right. Have a good night. See ya.
Ciao. Peace.
See ya.
I'll do.